It's your main man, Coach Richie Rich, Coach Babs, and welcome back to the Think Strong, Be Strong channel. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share button. Tell all your friends, tell all your people about me. If you're an avid listener and you've come back for more, welcome back. Always appreciate your love, always appreciate your support. So, we're going to talk about blocking in the life of dating, and probably touch on ghosting, but more blocking. I guess blocking and ghosting is kind of the same thing, or maybe it isn't, but we're going to talk about that. I'm going to share some of my experiences. I'm going to share truths as well, because we're not all as innocent as we look. So without further ado, let's get to it, shall we? Yo guys, welcome back. Let me clear my throat. So guys, welcome back. So for as long as I can remember, I never liked being ignored. I don't like the concept of ignoring people when they're trying to explain something that is important to them. And I never liked being ignored when I'm trying to explain something that is important to me. Granted, I can go around the houses and, it's been a work in progress to, get to the point quicker. But we all have our ways of expressing things, and we all have our ways of showing how passionate we are about certain things. Now, I guess in the world of dating, I'm what people will consider a nice guy, I guess. I try not to be a nice guy, but I am a good person. So, and I wear my heart on my sleeve. So when I meet somebody that I'm drawn to, I'm kind of like all in, and I'm just like, let's put everything into it. If I ain't really serious, then I ain't giving you that 100% attention. But if I am really serious, I'm going all in. Now I remember back in the day, you couldn't block people on your phone as easy as it is now. I remember when I first met my ex-wife and we talked. This is in the days when there weren't. God, I sound old. There weren't smartphones then. Do you know what I mean? We had color screen phones, but there weren't really smartphones back then. So if we got into an argument or let's call it a heated discussion. When we got into a heated discussion, then she put the phone down on me mid conversation, and I think that's fucking rude, and it always winds me up even till now, and I'm in my 30s touching 40, and it still winds me up. Like, don't fucking hang up the phone when I'm talking to you. Like, just go quiet, and that always works for everybody. Then they'll stop talking, and then you can say what you want to say, but don't be hanging up the phone. But back then you could hang up the phone on somebody and then they'd ring you back, and you don't want to speak to them, so you just let it ring out and let it ring out and let it ring out and let it ring out until one of two things happens: the battery goes dead, or they give up and they get the message. Do you know what I mean? And then maybe later on that day or on another day, you can have that conversation about what happened before. But now with smartphones, it is so with everything, the way everything has changed. Like, I've realized it doesn't take long for people to just block. Now I was having a conversation with two different people about this, and we were just talking about the concept of blocking. And the concept of blocking someone is because you never ever want to speak to them again. And for me, you have to be incredibly nasty, like verbally nasty, like really, really no regard for anything you're saying that is hurting the other person. Do you understand? Forget about he or she's they're being a nuisance, or he or she texts me too much. There are ways around that. If you don't respond to someone's messages after a while, trust me, I have done it and I still do it. If I think somebody's just bugging me with the messages, I'll either tell them, look man, I'm not in the mood to talk right now, so you've been told. And then if you still carry on, I just won't reply. Do you know what I mean? I'll do one of two things. I'll read it so you know I've read it, and then I won't reply so you get the message, or I just won't read it. I'll just delete it. Do you understand? But I won't block you. Now, I have been on the receiving end of some really abusive people on message. Like, they talk to you in such a way that you are like, wow. Like, if words were bullets or acid, you have ended somebody's life just with words. And with that situation, dating or non-dating, I'm blocking you. I don't need that kind of vibe in my energy, in my space, in my area. Like, there's no coming back from that. I was raised to watch what you say, because once you've said it, you can't take it back. You can say sorry 1,000 times, but you've said it, and it's really down to the other person to really want to forgive and forget. And most times we'll probably forgive, but it will be a struggle to forget. Do you know what I mean? Or we might have forgotten about it, but it might be a struggle to forgive. So rather than you being in that position, just watch what you say. Really think about it before you say it. And if you know you're angry and you're in the heat of a moment, then don't say nothing. Don't text anything until you're thinking, you know? Um, so yeah, I have people in my blocked list because they are completely nasty. Now, having said that, after a while, I will remove them from the blocked list, because at the end of the day, you know, even people who go to jail, they do their time, right? But I find now people are quick to block. Like, I have been in situations where we're having a conversation, or I'm expressing how I feel, or I'm just trying to get an understanding of something, and I've not got the answer, and I guess the other person is feeling some kind of way, and then boom, straight to Blocksville with no warning. Straight to Blocksville and everything with no warning. And it ain't like there's been a horrible conversation. It ain't like I've been nasty. I mean, like I said, I like to believe I'm a nice, I'm a good person, and I do think before I speak. And a lot of times, believe, I have to hold some stuff back, because I'm like, I don't really think this person's going to be able to handle what I've said, or I don't think I can say it in the right way without causing an issue at this point in time. So, but as my friend was saying, because I'm such a nice person, like, people will always take the piss, and they'll think they can do and undo. And that's a phrase that my mom and dad always used to say: don't think you can walk around doing, you think you can do and undo just like that. But when you're nice and you're respectable, I guess, and you're honest and you're caring, you're gonna come across people who are going to try and mug you off for it. And some of them you can see from afar, and some of them you can't see at all, and they just get you off guard. And it's happened to me a good few times, to the point where I've racked my brain and tried to figure out what could I have done wrong. And I've had my friends sit down and talk to me and say to me, it's probably nothing on your bearing. Try not to worry about it. But we want closure. We want to understand what led to that in the first place. Now, I don't agree with blocking per se, unless, like I said, it's something that's completely nasty, detrimental, threatening to your mental health and your mental well-being, genuinely threatening. Not like you feel uncomfortable about the conversation, or you feel uncomfortable about the situation. Because if there's one thing I've learned in my 38 years of being alive, is I have been in the uncomfortable places for a very long time. So you can only grow being uncomfortable. You can only learn to see things from other perceptions other than yourself, and you're only going to really get that when you're in an uncomfortable situation, or you're around people who prevent you with something that you find a challenge to deal with. So for me, they're not valid reasons. Now, have I blocked people in the past before I got to a point where I was like, only dealing with nasty people? Yes, I have. Once upon a time, I was the coldest motherfucker about. Like, as much as you see me warm, caring, and, kind and all this stuff, believed, like everybody, there is another side to me who was, and sometimes can be, fucking heartless. Like, in fact, I was going through my phone a couple of days ago, just clearing out contacts that I don't need to be in anymore, cutting down, getting rid of certain social media apps that I don't want to be on, and going through text messages and just really deleting anything that was up to like this year. Do you know what I mean? Or at least the last few months. And I just remember reading through some conversations, because when you've deleted numbers from time ago, they all just appear as +44. And I just remember going through some text messages and just reading the way I was speaking to these people. Like, look, man, I gave you an opportunity once, twice. You're fucking around. I ain't speak to you no more. You keep messaging me, I'm gonna block you. Do you know what I mean? Just not thinking two ways about it. You know, even with me and my ex-wife, we'd have so many arguments to the point where I'd sit there and I'd read it and read it and read it and read it and read it, and it would really make me feel like crap. Like really, consider wanting to be alive. And then, and she it won't take long for her to block me. And I thought, you know what? Fuck this, man. I send you to Blocksville. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, nothing I'm getting from here is making me feel mentally and emotionally stable as a person. It's designed to hurt me and break me. And why should I allow such messages to come through? But before then, I was just blocking from left and right. And I realized why. And I'm not saying this is for everybody. It might be. And if it hits a nerve, I'm not talking to you directly, but if the shoe fits, let's talk about it, let's work it out. But for me, personally, it was because I didn't want to attempt to face up to my responsibility of what was being said. I didn't like what was being said, or I didn't know how to answer the question, or maybe I knew the truth but I didn't want to admit it, and I didn't like being called out on my bullshit. So the best thing to do is just run away. And for me, blocking is kind of like running away, because you don't give that person closure, and you're not dealing with something that you don't know that by dealing with it today, it may help you to deal with similar things in the future. You know, in the dating game, we're always faced with tough conversations, or what people now think are tough conversations. Like the bare minimum of, why don't I hear from you as much? Or when do I get to see you? Or when are we going here? Or when are we going to start planning for that house that we were going to get together? Or when are we going to start looking at marriage? Or it's time to, when are you moving in? It's been how many years? Or what are we? The famous what are we question. And you find that the one who really wants to know and understand where they are is the one who tends to get blocked, and the other one who was okay before the questions came in, or was okay before they had to like declare certain things, or answer the bare minimum, they start to get withdrawn, they start to feel defensive, they start to be on the back foot. I'm telling you this because I was the same. And I'm not saying everybody's like that, but I feel like there's a similar trait, and they just get shook. They get shook, or they're running game. Because when I was running game, I did the same thing. So when you have a running game, they've got multiple people, and now one of them wants to get serious, and maybe the one who wants to get serious is not the one that you want to get serious. You chasing the other one who ain't even bothered with you. Do you understand? And you busy being not bothered with the other person who's showing you time and attention, chasing somebody who's not bothered about you, and you showing them time and attention, and you ghosting the one, or you blocking the one who's got time for you, so you can run after the one who will holler at you as and when they feel like it. It could be that, because I did similar. Like when I'm talking here, I ain't gonna try and make it look like I'm an angel. I'm gonna tell you that I've done it if I've done it, and I'm gonna tell you if I haven't done it. So it could be that, or it could be just fear, like shit's getting real. And in a relationship, it's, if you both say you want the same thing, then it's really inevitable that shit is gonna get real. It's gonna get real. It's the whole point. Like, there's only so many times you can play kiss chase until it's like things are getting real. And then if you're not ready for things to get real, you step back. Now you're gonna come across people who will block you and unblock 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 you. It's happened to me. I don't do that. If I blocked you, we're done. Like, I'm not coming back to you again to fuck with your head. But you're gonna get people who are gonna do it to you, and I've had it done to me more than once. And sometimes it's hard to learn, because you can't characterize everybody as the same. If it's somebody else has done it to you similar, you kind of gotta. I try and see the positive in them and be like, maybe it's a different problem for them, or maybe there's a different reason, and it could be nice the same bullshit as the other person did to you. You understand? Um, so you're gonna come across those people, and it's hard. Look, man, even till today, There are times when I talk to my friends and I'd ask them advice. You know, some of them will be like, "Fucking dude, man, stop fucking around with this person. Like they're fucking around with you, they're mugging you off." And then there'll be some who will be like, "Yo, man, do what you think is you do what you think you need to do, and we'll support you either way." And you can't read minds, and you can't see what they're doing. You can't see what they're doing in the background. You can only see what they're doing right now. And you can't give your time to them. You can try your hardest not to give your time to them. It's easier said than done. Me talking here, it's been easier said than done for me to be like, yeah, but this one, I think this one is the one. Oh no, but he's different from the rest, or nah, she, there's something about her, like, or it's love at first sight, or whatever. Like, there are going to be reasons why it's a struggle, but the two things that are going to help you in this: one, trust your intuition; two, trust your eyes, and three, lead by example. Don't answer confrontation with the block button or the ghosting method. Don't give the person closure, because they deserve closure. Now, they may not like the closure they're getting. They may not like it, but at least they know what's up. Now, they may try and talk you around, or you may want to talk them around. You may want to give us, you may want to explain, the misinterpretation. That's great. That's fine. You're entitled to it. And you also, deserve to, they also deserve to be heard too. But that ghosting and blocking mechanism, it's not a cool thing, man. Unless they are being nasty and it's detrimental to your mental health and your emotional well-being, and it's like, you are sad and you are crying, and this person is relentless, and they are calling you every kind of name under the sun, they are threatening you in all kinds of manners, then you block that person. But if it's just because it's a tough conversation, or a conversation that feels awkward, or a conversation that you don't know how to answer there and then, don't go to the block button. Don't go to the ghosting method. Just say, look, I need to think about this. I'm not really sure where I'm at right now, or I like things how they are. Can we just keep it like this for a period? And and acknowledge and honor the other person's wants and desires, and hopefully meet somebody who honors and acknowledges your desires, or at least acknowledge each other's bare minimum. My bare minimum is, if you're on my mind all the time and I'm letting you know I'm on your mind all the time, I mean, yeah, you're on my mind all the time, let a brother know that he's on your mind. Drop him a text. Say what's up. Beat him to the punch. Or her to the punch. Do you know what I mean? If she hollers at you every single morning, beat her to it. If you say you're feeling it. And if that ain't your if that's not you, then maybe have the conversation with that person. Say, look, that ain't me. Are you okay with that? Or that ain't me, but I'm gonna try. And then try. But don't because it's like, she keeps going on about it, man. She keeps asking me about it, man. She keeps saying that, fuck it, I'm gonna block because I'm annoyed, I'm frustrated, or fuck that, that's the, that. Look, you're gonna meet people that you're gonna be attracted to people that you didn't expect to be attracted to, because they treat you in such a way that maybe other guys have been dogging you out, or just acting like roadmen, or acting like fuckboys, or girls who've been acting like chicken heads, or just been acting like dick teasers or whatever, and you're gonna come across that person who's different. They're just gonna treat you different in a nice manner, and the shit's gonna be scary because you probably lost faith in the opposite sex because of the way you've been treated. So it's gonna be scary. Change is always scary. Something brand new is always scary at first, but what gives me comfort is knowing that something scary but nice is happening to me. So it means I deserve it. And it's what I've been manifesting for the longest time. And now it's come in exactly the form that I wanted it. And I'm scared of it. And I don't want to fuck it up. But I guess if I was going to fuck it up, it wouldn't have arrived at this time. So there must be potential in me to keep it moving in the right way. But it's going to require communication and understanding on both channels. And we're both different ways of thinking, or we have different ways of doing things, or whatever. So there are going to be some conversations that might be a bit uncomfortable. There are going to be some situations that might get my back up a little bit because I'm used to being Batman. I do things alone and all that stuff. Or, I'm Wonder Woman. I'm so independent. I don't need nobody and whatever. Do you know what I mean? But, you can't grow if you just keep avoiding and running away just because it got a bit difficult or because you got challenged or because you found the conversation uncomfortable so you don't like it. So now he or she is insecure or he or she has an issue or he or she is too needy or he or she is too everything that you're afraid to exhibit because really and truly it's not them, it's you because you're the one who's running away. Like they're just sitting here like, what the fuck just happened? Like we were all good, and then what the fuck just happened? They're sitting there confused because you ain't told them nothing. They don't know. You done pulled the carpet from under their legs. They're on their head in a crooked position, and they're expected to understand because you just decided to disappear because you didn't like something or because something made you feel uncomfortable. So look, don't be ghosting people, don't be blocking people unless it's extreme. You know, uncomfortable is not extreme. Awkward feeling is not extreme. They're all part of learning yourself, getting to know yourself better, growing, evolving, progressing in any kind of relationship, even in a friendship. They're all part of the process. You got to get uncomfortable so you can grow. Lord knows how many times I've been made to feel uncomfortable, even to the point where I thought being a no nonsense fuckeries guy was the way forward, but it ain't because my heart wants what my heart wants. So I have to listen to that. And that means I have to make myself vulnerable sometimes when I'm talking to somebody and getting to know them. I have to open up, talk about some things inside, and that's an awkward conversation. And they may judge you. They may talk to you a little bit differently, or they may ask more questions to try and learn more. You might take it as what the fuck, man, and then you back off me or block. Do you know what I mean? I can't right now. Block. Like, don't just talk. Just talk. Be open. Be courageous. Courageous is of courage, isn't it? I'm trying to remember the French termination of it, the French translation, but yeah, just be courageous. I've been told one of the most, well, for me, one of the most attractive things is to know that you can have a difficult conversation or an awkward conversation, expose vulnerabilities between each other, and still be cool. Like you can miss the other person like crazy, and it's okay, even whether they're used to it or not. If you both say you want the same thing and you're both feeling each other, then y'all should be able to open up your heart and accept the way they love. The intensity of it, and as time goes on, they learn how to. Cause, it's not like you change yourself, but you learn how to speak their language, and they learn how to speak your language, and before you know it, you're speaking one language. you know. But when you blocking and ghosting just because it got uncomfortable for a minute, and then block and then unblocking again when you can manage, and then blocking again when it gets tough, you fucking up your situation, man. It's as simple as that. Like even the nicest guy will be like, "Fuck this, I'm out." There are like five, six, seven, eight different women trying to holler at me right now, and I'm making time for you. Even the nicest girl is gonna be like, "Fuck, what, man? I ain't got time for this waste, man." This guy's been trying to talk to me and I've been giving him shit because of your ass is playing games, because your ass is not ready or you don't want to be ready. Like you want the time and the attention, but you don't want to do everything else. But then when we try to have a conversation and I'm trying to address it, then you trying to ghost me or you trying to block me because you need to think. Like you can't tell a girl that you want to think, so you gotta block her. And you think that all the time, or for the amount of times you're gonna do it to them, that they're gonna be waiting for you to unblock and be like, hey, so unpause. After a while, they will be like, fuck this, I'm out. And it's going to be your loss because maybe you didn't even really want that outcome. You didn't want it to end, but you were afraid to take the next step, or you were afraid to show your vulnerability. And I'm not trying to say show it straight away. I'm not trying to say it's by force. Communication is important for you to both know where you guys are at, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, financially, whatever. The channels of communication are there. And if you're with somebody who you can't communicate how you really feel to, then you shouldn't be with them. You shouldn't be trying to pursue anything with them. Because if their answer is to block you and unblock you, then either they're not emotionally mature enough yet, they have some stuff that they're really going through and they thought they were ready and they want both, or they're chatting to somebody else and they're just keeping you around. And the last one is the worst one to think or feel, but we have to accept it that that is one of the possibilities as well, that you're just there like a six man or six person on the bench ready to get picked up to play the game and hopefully win. Whew. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please put a thumbs up, leave a comment in the box below, and share. I hope to see you guys again soon. Don't ask me when, because you know now I just be popping up as and when. I'm still moving, as my mom would say, as the spirit directs, or as the universe drops it into me. I'm still moving that way. Look, stay safe. It's COVID, so stay safe. Stay blessed. Live your life one step, one rep at a time. Think strong, be strong. And remember, impossible is nothing. Peace.